cloud. Okay, I think we're recording. So okay, then we'll start out with a prayer then. Dear Jesus, we thank you for once again bringing us together this week. We ask that you guide us in our studies and help us to understand the words and visions of your servant Zechariah. We pray for Jim and get him through all those fun surgeries that he's looking forward to. So in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
So, okay, well, now I don't even want to ask what your highlights and challenges are, because I just heard that you got surgeries coming up and all that. That doesn't sound like fun at all.
I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like fun.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you get some relief. And
we're hoping to go on vacation in the middle of June.
Okay.
So we have a timeshare up at Breezy Point, so we're going up to Brainerd. So
nice.
Yeah, we have a condo up there.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been to Brainerd a lot through, but my grandparents had a cabin in Longville.
Oh, okay.
And now my brother has a cabin up there, my uncle has a cabin, and my nephew has a cabin on the same lake, Long Lake.
Oh, okay. And
I'm kind of getting cabin fever too.
Yeah. Well, come and visit us. We have a 2-bedroom place.
Oh, there you go. Well, we were thinking of renting a RV and going up to see my brother.
Oh.
And if you're up there, but it's in June, right? You said?
Yeah, we're in June. Yeah, we're leaving on we'll be up there June 11th. Yeah.
Sure. That's great.
Jim might be in the hospital, but I'm going up June 11th.
Yeah, I might be dead, but she'll be there.
Oh, you're gonna make it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Right.
Just wrap me up in a quilt and take me with you.
Yeah.
All right.
How are you, Diane?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Good.
Diane, do you ever get out to the cabin or anything like that these days?
No.
Oh, Terry, how about you? No. And Steve, well, other than the 150-mile motorcycle ride, getting out. No cabin or visit. You go fishing at all?
We used to have a cabin up near Walker, or actually Hackensack.
Oh yeah, I've been to Hackensack. That's right next to Longville.
Actually, my grandfather, my mom's dad, founded Hackensack Lumber and Hardware.
Oh my, that's awesome. Hackensack, that brings memories. There was nothing to do in Longville or Hackensack, so we always had to go to Walker. I think there was a bowling alley in Hackensack, wasn't there?
No.
Maybe I'm thinking we went up to Bemidji for that, but yeah. That was a long time ago. All right, so I had a chance to watch the March 7th and the 14th services online on YouTube. And so Jim, you were right about the man on the horse was the angel, was the pre-incarnate Jesus. And I found that, wow. So you were right on the spot.
I know.
I have to listen to Jim. I have to make sure I pay attention.
No.
Every once in a while he comes through.
Yeah.
But you guys saw that March 7th service. Did you watch a video, or did you watch it live, or were you there?
Was that before or after daylight savings time? Because one of them we watched live, and one of them we thought it was 8:30 and it was really 9:30. So I guess we watched the video.
Oh, okay. Well,
so So one was one and one was the other, but yeah, I like it. They had new lighting this last time and it was wonderful. I thought, is that our church? Does that really look like our church?
Yeah, I watched Chuck.
Yeah, they got new lighting and they've got new cameras.
Yeah,
The cameras zoom right in. You
Yeah.
can just
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching it. It was great.
Yeah.
So, and then on that March 7th one, they talked about the woman in the basket. So
right.
Yeah.
remember that. So maybe
Yep.
you can tell that one. But so does everybody know how to get YouTube and watch those? You can watch the services and these Bible studies. So if you don't know how, I'm happy to show you how. But basically, you just go on YouTube if you have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, YouTube, then you go for search and type in Eastern Heights Lutheran Church and
I
it'll
just
come up.
I type ehlc.org and it comes right up.
Oh, really? ELHC.
ehlc.org.
EHLC, yeah.
That's a
.org.
little shorter than these.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it takes us forever to log in. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And then
So
every
check it
other
out.
Lutheran,
Yeah.
or Eastern Heights Presbyterian Baptist, Catholic, I mean, it's just all there.
Yeah.
Bob's Lutheran Church.
Yeah.
I kind of like I don't like, I mean, I would like to watch it live, but I'm not very good at timing. But if you go on the video part, you can fast forward through it or whatever. Or if you miss something, you can always rewind it too. So
Right,
it's actually almost
I
better.
like it a
to-
lot. Yeah.
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 So, but I understand they're opening up churches to have, to seat more or whatever now. So I'm sure you still have to wear your mask, but
I'm feeling a little more comfortable about thinking about going to church because I've not been anywhere where there's been more than 10 people. And even the grocery stores, when at the time that I go anyway, there's not many people there, and I noticed there was a lot of coughing this last time and I'm thinking, oh, that's not good for me. And then but now that I've had my first COVID shot, I'm feeling a little more comfortable of entertaining the fact to go into a building that has, but I think I'm going to wait until after I get my second one, which isn't until
definitely. Yeah.
the
After April 1st is Monday, Thursday. So maybe you'll be going to Easter, but that's a lot of people there.
well, yeah, I might pass on Easter, but might go on a different day. But for us, it's been a godsend to have that video.
Yeah.
The church has done a wonderful job, I think, of getting out to the people electronically anyway.
Yeah, we even on one occasion here, I think it was last week or week before, when they did communion at church,
we did it too.
We went and got a little bit of wine and some bread and
yeah, she was watching her church service, Zion's church service, and she was like,
I just had to use water. I didn't have any
we
water.
we got the real stuff.
We got a lot of it. We got a lot of wine.
We're gonna have
For
to
my
do
birthday, I got those little bottles,
Yeah.
and so we shared a little bottle.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
doctor asked me today, do you smoke? I said, no. Do you drink? I said, no, but I think I'm going to start.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
So I think said we were going to talk about the 8 visions. And you get points for telling me what the visions are. Anybody? Or you want to start with? Should we just go in order? Or
Well, we got the clean garments.
clean garment?
The gold lampstand and the 2 olive trees. The flying scroll. That would scare me to death. That thing come flying at
It's
me.
only a dream, Phyllis. It's only a dream.
Well, it would wake me up and I'd have a heart attack. And then a woman in a basket, and then 4 chariots and the crown of Joshua.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then I don't know. The justice of mercy and not fasting. And
I
then
don't- Yeah, I didn't get that. Was that I didn't know if that was a vision or that was something they were talking about after the fact. But
yeah, I don't know.
and the surveyor is the
Oh, the surveyor.
the
Did I
Yeah,
miss one?
that's when he's measuring the temple.
Oh, yeah. There's
So-
surveyor, man measuring. Yeah.
that's the well, so the horseman among the myrtle trees, that's Zechariah 1:7-17. And I think we already talked about that. That man on a horse ends up being the interpreter or the guide for Zechariah through this dream. And what I thought about that was this, if you ever watched the show, the Christmas, is it the Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Where the ghost takes the guy to the ghost of Christmas past or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought of, like, so this guy is with Zechariah talking to, or he's being an interpreter or trying to guide him through these dreams. And you'll notice that Zechariah always kind of asks the question, like, what is this or whatever. So, and I think that's probably a good thing that we should be doing too, is asking questions. When we don't know what the answer is, we should ask. And that, I don't know if that's one of the messages or points of the dreams, but that's what I took from it. So the other thing I noticed was so the man among the myrtle tree was the angel of the Lord. So I'm guessing that when they say angel of the Lord, that they mean Jesus, because we already established that it definitely was incarnate. So whenever I hear angel of the Lord, that's who I must be thinking of that. But and then we name him Jesus after in the New Testament. I don't know. He was
the angel 500 years before he was born, isn't that right?
Right.
About that time.
Right.
So he had to come as.
I mean,
I wish I could understand these labels.
So I'm not quite sure. Is he an angel, a physical angel, like we think of, like with wings and a white garment, or do you think it's a mist of some sort, or?
First off, it's a dream. So we don't,
Okay.
so we don't know, dreams could be lucid or maybe not true to form or whatever, but it seems like it's pretty vivid. And he's on a horse, and they don't mention wings. So,
yeah.
or garments or whatever. I guess if you're on a horse, you'd probably, it didn't seem like there was anything different, but definitely he ends up going to talking to God. So God talks to him, and then the angel of the Lord talks to Zechariah. So it's almost like, hey, you can't get to the Father but through him. So it makes sense to me that would be a pre-incarnate Jesus. So let's see, what other notes do I have on? So while they were talking, like I said, God talks to the angel of the Lord, and the Lord, God is heard but not seen in this dream. And he says that I am zealous for Israel. I'm returning to Jerusalem, and I will again comfort Zion. So I think the whole point of all these visions is that they need to start building this temple. And whatever words are said here, I think they're trying to convince the masses that's what they need to do. They need to start building them. So how they do that is they end up saying that they're going to destroy. So like with the horns and all that, they're going to destroy the enemy, and they're going to give you everything you need to build this temple, and you just need to do it. So it says here, the Lord had sent these horsemen out. So there was actually more than just the angel. There was actually a couple more horsemen with them. But the Lord had sent these horsemen out to patrol the earth. The horsemen found the whole earth is at peace, but Israel was still oppressed and despised. And that apparently made God angry. That's why he ends up showing in the next vision, which was the four horns and the craftsmen or the blacksmith that are going to destroy these world powers. Yeah. So that's all the notes I have on the first one.
The last paragraph before two.
But I don't know why. I don't know if anybody knows what the significance of the myrtle tree is. But all I know is that it's a hardy tree, and I don't know if it represents something else, but I think maybe we can just ask questions for a pastor to start a list or something. If you guys have questions, I may not have an answer, but
Is the myrtle tree the kind of a tree that what's the name of the guy that collects the money, and they don't like him, and he climbed up a tree to look at God, and God said, come down, and
Venus or something like that? I don't know if it's
the tax collector, is that what he was called?
I thought it was Venus, but I don't know.
Yeah. So was he in a myrtle tree? So is that the significance that important things happen at this myrtle tree?
Well, that was in the New Testament.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So at this point, he's having this dream, and he doesn't. But all I know is that the myrtle tree it's very hardy. It doesn't grow very high, but it's very hardy. And they kind of allude to that this is January, February, or whatever. So I don't know if there's you've been to Israel. What do the trees look like there? I see we saw a picture of that.
Yeah, they're short.
Yeah.
Everything in Israel is short because nothing could be taller than the Air Force towers. Mm-hmm. Oh. It's true. You have to get special dispensation like a hotel does to have a building that has more than, I'm going to say 10 floors, because nothing could be higher than what their military radar is. So
sure. I think that might be the case in Washington, D.C. too. I think 5 floors. Most buildings are no higher than 5 floors. No, I don't know.
And they only use material that is in their country to build buildings and do whatever. So everything is tan, kind of a tannish brown color.
Wow.
Yeah. Because that's the color of the soils that they have to use to build things.
What was the vegetation there like? Was there trees and bushes and?
Yeah, they do a lot of their own irrigation. They have a lot of irrigation throughout the whole country to do their fruits and vegetables. Very good food, by the way.
Well,
Excellent.
they grow Mediterranean food pretty
Yeah.
much, right? So,
Yeah.
the olive oil, they grow that there, and they use it when we get to the lampstand,
Yeah, to
whatever.
the lamp, yeah.
Yeah, that uses olive oil. So, well, anyways, I would like to know. I think there must be more to it. What is this myrtle tree? What does it represent? Because I think it seems very symbolic.
Artie, what do you think? I don't know. Anybody else?
I don't know.
The
Bueller?
myrtle tree, the one that grows, the figs or
No.
grapes, or I've
Oh.
never heard of one. Or olives, I mean, olives.
Olives, yeah.
Does a myrtle tree grow olives?
No, I don't think so.
Google it.
I have to Google that.
Alexa, does a myrtle tree grow olives?
Here's something I found on the web. According to gardenguides.com, Natchez crepe myrtle and European olive trees grow in regions with mild winters, while the mountain ash grows in colder climates with winter temperatures down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit.
That doesn't tell us anything.
Well-
Thank you, Alexa.
It kind of sounds like they do have olives on them
Okay.
of some sort, but maybe not the kind you eat. Maybe it's just to crush to get olive oil.
All right. Well, there we have it. The first vision was
You know,
the horsemen
A
among
myrtle.
the myrtle trees.
and we don't know what a myrtle tree
Talked about
The-
two.
Huh?
We talked about number 2.
And number 2, I'm just gonna read my notes. So the 4 horns and the 4 craftsmen, that's chapter 1, verses 18 through 21. And yeah, we talked about this last week pretty much. So
Yeah.
if the 4 horns represented the 4 powers. And Jim, you thought it was Babylon and Persia. And when I was Googling this earlier or whatever, others also felt that those two were 2 of the 4 horns.
Yeah.
And the one of them said that the other 2 countries was Assyria, Egypt.
Right.
But then I saw another video, and he said that they thought it was Medo-Persia, Babylon, Greece, and Rome. And I don't know where he got that from. So I think in maybe that email that we read, I think they said that it was unknown in what countries those were. But I don't think there's a consensus because they don't say what countries they were. But even if it is Persia, I still go with the fact, well, why would God want to destroy Persia if their new king, or Cyrus, had released all those people in Babylon? They said they can go home. I mean, it sounds like they're the good guys. So why would you destroy them? I have questions for God.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So another note I had. So then the blacksmith came back next in the dream, and they destroyed these. Well, some say scattered, some said destroyed, but some Bibles use the word blacksmith and some use the word craftsman. I guess it really doesn't matter. And then the third vision, chapter 2, verse 1 through 13. That was the surveyor. And apparently that was meant to, so he was going to go measure Jerusalem, and they told him, don't bother. And the reason apparently was, because it's not just Jerusalem that's going to be expanding, it's going to be all beyond the walls of Jerusalem. And so I think the point of that dream was expansion is going to happen. Get ready for it. It's going to be huge. And this is part of, the dreams, like I said, were convincing him to build a temple. And so, they just got rid of the God's going to take care of the enemies, the four horns, and we're going to bless Jerusalem. And so I think, after being in captivity or exiled for 70 years, they're looking for something, like I don't know if they were looking for retribution or whatever, but the four horns, they're going to destroy these guys. Well, that's got to be an Old Testament thing, because in the New Testament, I think you're going to love your enemies instead of going, oh, don't worry about it, I'm going to destroy these guys. I don't hear that in the New Testament, right? You don't hear that. So I'm burning through these pretty quick. I'm on the fourth one here. The vision of Joshua, the high priest. So Joshua was in the service of Zerubbabel. And I noticed that in that conversation there, this is chapter 3, verse 1 through 10, that Satan was also there. So that got my attention. That's pretty interesting. I think he said, so the angel of the Lord said, I, the Lord, reject your accusations. And it's like, so there again, that must mean that he's the Lord, he's Jesus. But I don't know, man. That's the first time I've ever read in the Bible, because I don't read much, but it's the first time I read that there's actually negotiation going. I suppose when Jesus went in the desert, he was talking to Satan there too. But it just freaks me out when we're talking about Satan. So in this verse, they talk about giving Joshua new clothes. So he's dirty. He says, put new clothes on him, new garments on him. And I think that what I read there anyways, that was meant to represent the cleansing of Israel itself. So it's so Joshua was symbolic of Israel. And we can get Pastor Benson to confirm this, but
So then at this time, does that mean that Joshua was dead if he came in the dream of Zechariah? I suspect that Joshua was dead, I imagine.
I don't know the timing of that. That's because I think he was alive. I was under the assumption he was alive because of the king. He was the high priest under that particular king, and that was during his term. So, and you'll find that with the two olive trees too. I read a point where the olive trees actually represented Joshua and Zerubbabel, but there again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you have to be dead to be in a dream. You know what I mean? Is that what your assumption is?
Yeah, I'm just assuming that, he would come back in a dream.
Yeah.
Because initially Joshua, wasn't he the one that marched around with all the horns and stuff to knock down the wall of Jericho?
Well, this that may have been Joshua. This is Jeshua with a J-E. It's Jeshua. who's a high priest, and I think Joshua was like getting my things mixed up, but Jericho was like the second generation after Moses or something like that. So
Our Bible says in chapter verse 8 in chapter 3 verse 8, it says, listen, high priest Joshua, Joshua, not Joshua.
Alright, everybody
They
check your
mean the same.
Yeah, JOS.
You have JOS too, Diane?
It's the new, what I have is the new international version, I guess.
Yeah,
version,
yeah,
NIV.
yeah. So you have Joshua. So I'm wondering if it's just an interpretation of the Bibles. Which version are you using?
I got in 3:6, it says that then the angel of the Lord spoke very solemnly to Joshua, Jeshua, and said, this is what the Lord Almighty says.
On mine, where, and this is verse 6, where
Yeah.
you said Jeshua, mine says Joshua.
So does mine.
Yeah. Isn't
What
that
version
interesting? So it must be just a different interpretation, right?
Okay.
So it's not this, it's not a different person?
Okay, I got an asterisk here, and on the back, on the asterisk down here says Hebrew Joshua, a variant name for Jeshua.
Ah,
And so that is, so we're all correct.
yeah, there you go.
It's just a,
Hey, you learn something new every day. That's why
Every day, every day. Every day.
So I had
Well,
I thought maybe somebody's spelling was even worse than mine.
There you go. I'm glad there isn't any math in this. I
Well,
really
that
hope-
I could handle. That I could handle.
that you can handle. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, I got
Now,
a question for you.
I have a question. You know, in
Yes.
Joshua 8, it says, you know, he says, listen, high priest Joshua, and you and your associates seated before you. Okay, go down to the next 9, and it says, see the stone I have set in front of you, Joshua. There are 7 eyes on that one stone, and I will engrave an inscription on it. So is that
7 fast.
7
You said
eyes?
I.
YES, eyes. So there's
Now,
7 eyes.
Where are you finding this?
Right.
Joshua what?
This is,
Joshua 3, line 9.
Okay.
yeah, this one says, yeah, it says, okay, so mine says, now look at the jewel I have set before Joshua, a single stone with 7 facets, so that would be cut.
Oh,
But
7.
Then
Oh,
it's got an
okay.
asterisk. It's got an asterisk. If you look down here, it says Hebrew 7 eyes, EYES.
Mhm.
So
So
they're
they're just talking 7-sided item, not
Yeah.
not
Um,
something that's horrific
eye.
looking with eyeballs looking at you.
that's right. That would be
Oh
weird.
my God.
So why can't they? Yeah, why can't they just lay it to us straight? But that's a lot of that going on, with the Hebrew interpretation.
Yeah.
what is
So
your
this is-
version, John? Of the
What?
Bible? What is your version that you have of the Bible?
What version is?
Mine is a study Bible, and it's the New Living Translation, Life Application Study Bible. But then I have another one here that's paraphrased.
Mm,
So I kind of look at both of them, so I can,
Yeah.
because I don't know what these words mean, but I didn't even see that about the eyes. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
So then we have a 7-sided stone of some sort with inscriptions on it. And then the last line says, and I will remove the sin of the land in a single day. So that must be God's resurrection after he died and went to hell and then rose again. So this is the beginning of
Okay,
telling
then
us
I
that
got it.
God's coming and Jesus take all of our sin away. Is that right? Am I reading that right?
I don't know.
It's gonna happen in a single day. That's what I got, but that's probably an introduction to what the dream, not the dreams, but the conversation that's gonna happen in chapter 9.
Yeah.
Yep. yeah, so like in chapter 9, they're gonna see this is why I wanted to get kind of through these visions, because like I said, these visions are about building the new temple. And it has,
Okay.
we have a lot to learn about it, you know, because we have to build ourselves and we have to build other things. But I'm really excited about chapter 9 when we get that, because that talks about the coming of Jesus and then the second coming of Jesus. So maybe this is an intro to that.
Yeah.
It's
It's coming
Second-
and you better
right.
listen. Yeah.
Do you do you guys have Bible Gateway on your phones?
No.
yeah, I just
I-
entered that on my tablet. I can't use it because I'm on
Oh, yeah, because it's great when you can just sit there and listen to each of these
Right.
chapters.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
back it up and replay it. It's just wonderful.
yeah, it's fun. It's funny because I probably never would have watched YouTube and listened to that Gateway or the other service, whatever. But I had to have something to talk about. 'Cause, you know, what do I know? I never, like I said, on the first time we came to this Bible study with Pastor Steve, I says, you know, this is, you get talking because I don't know anything about this guy, you know. So I
It's
knew
very
nothing.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I found. He had to pick the hardest one for
Yeah.
us to you know, go off on our own talking about these things. But anyways, yeah, I like that having it right there on there and just tapping it, and they can play the verse for you or whatever. But I'm really into more about what do these mean, you know, because it's written 2,000 plus years ago, 2,500 years ago, and B, it's dreams.
Actually, like 700 years before Christ.
Yeah, 515 was when the temple was dedicated, so that's 500 plus. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, then it was probably 2,500 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it was written 2,500 years ago, and it's in Hebrew. First off, you know, this was a Hebrew man, so he was writing in Hebrew. So then it's probably converted to Aramaic or Greek and whatever. I don't know.
What number are we on?
Hmm?
What number are we on? 5?
Yeah, number 5. I think that must be her way of saying let's move on. But I had a question because we talked about Jeshua and Joshua.
Mhm.
So my question was, this is worth 10 points. So how many times is Zechariah quoted in the New Testament? About 40 times.
40.
That's actually not the question. This was the question. How many different Zechariahs are mentioned in the Old Testament? So there's different versions, like, you know, how we saw Joshua and Jeshua.
Yeah.
Zechariah is spelled differently too, but there's how many different Zechariahs are mentioned in the Old Testament?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
66.
She's looking at the answers. Cheater. It's 30.
30.
30 times, but they're all different. You know, there was different titles, different people, names. So. All right. So number 5 is the golden lampstand and the 2 olive trees. So the 7 lamps represent the eyes of the Lord that searched all around the world. And so I don't know if you read this verse or whatever, they said there was a candle and there was 6 branches, a total of 7, and they had little cups, and then they had olive oil in there or whatever. And so this apparently means something too. Like I said, I thought that the olive trees I read that the olive trees were maybe Jeshua and Zerubbabel. But you know what they call a lamp that's got 7 sides like that? That's worth 10 points too. It's a menorah.
Oh,
You've probably heard that,
yeah.
right? Menorah. So you've seen them both in Christianity and Jewish churches or temples. So that's what they were seeing. So that's all I know about that. And what they represent, I don't know. Another question for Pastor.
Okay, write that down.
Okay, here's Phyllis's favorite one, the flying scroll.
Well, a cubit is really big, and you've got one here that's 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide. Honest to goodness, that's a house flying at you.
And I had one interpretation that said it was 30 feet by 15 feet.
Yeah.
So
The Bible
that's about what a cubit. What's that,
Yeah,
Diane?
a cubit is 18 inches.
It's 30 feet by 15 feet wide, 30
Yep.
feet long, 15 feet wide.
Yeah, so this is a pretty big, and like I said, good thing it's just in a dream. But apparently this scroll contains a curse that is going out over the entire land. One side says, those who steal will be banished from the land. And the other side says, those who swear falsely in my name will be banished from the land. So this is kind of like, hey, this is going to happen. So don't be a thief and don't be using my name falsely. It's kind of what I got out of that.
Yeah.
See, okay, and now this not the last one, but second to last one, the 7th one. This is the one Linda wanted to get to because she's kind of upset with this one. It's called The Woman in the Basket. So again, you saw the church service. So Phyllis, what did you think of that? That church service with Pastor Benson talking about the woman in the basket. Did you recall that?
No, I don't.
Okay. So apparently this vision was a basket that held grain. It would normally hold grain. It was used for weighing grain.
Right.
And there was a lead cover on it. So this lead cover is used to hold in toxins. So when they opened the cover, there was a woman in there. And I think my Bible said that her name was Wickedness, and she represents wickedness. And then they they put the lid back on it because she's wicked. And then these 2 women with wings. So in the email that Pastor Benson said, I think he said 2 storks carried them off. But both my Bibles here say that 2 women with wings like a stork carried this basket off. Yeah.
Mine says too.
They carried this basket off and they brought this basket to Babylon where they'll worship her there. So what is your argument?
I just don't like that it's a woman that they
Would choose to represent
that
wicked?
that they would choose to name wickedness. I don't think that's nice.
It's not fair.
World's not fair.
Yeah, I know.
So Steve, when you see a plane in the hangar or whatever, do you refer to it as a she? Like she's a beautiful plane? Or,
Well, sometimes.
or like, yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to explain to her, that the female is often used as a name for a comparison to an object or whatever, like that.
Well, certainly
she's
named
beautiful.
all the airplanes in World War II.
Yeah.
The guys wrote all the women's names on the side of the airplanes,
Lola.
Nola Gay,
Hello, yeah.
Nola
Enola.
Gay
I
that
know.
dropped the
No,
atomic
yeah.
bomb on Nagasaki or
Yes.
Hiroshima, which either one, I can't remember which city, but don't all the pilots put women's names on the side of their planes?
Yeah.
Right. So they just chose. First off, it's a dream. I don't know if you can control what your objects are. The object was wickedness. It could have very well been a man or a little boy, but
Does
in this
this
case,
have
it's
to
a woman.
refer to Eve who ate the apple and
Right.
wicked-
See, that's
Right. I'm,
That-
see, that makes her even more
we're
angry.
getting a bad rap here.
Yeah, there you go. But yet they also say too, the men have to take care of us, 'cause
Yes. Yeah.
we don't have a place in the pecking order,
Right.
I think you two should file a complaint.
Yeah. You should.
I know a lawyer.
Okay.
Buddy. All right. Hey, now I'm on the last one.
Okay.
The last one I have here is the 4 chariots. So there's 4 chariots, and I forgot the colors here. I remember the black, white, red, and gray, or something like that. There's 4 different, and these are the 4 spirits of heaven, and they stand before the Lord of all the earth. So the Lord of all the earth is God. And God tells them, go out and you can do my work. So they went out and did his work. And the black horse went north. And he said, they have vented the anger of my spirit there. And now, if you recall, the north was Babylon. So again, they're destroying. They're going to go take care of Babylon. And I noticed too, like in these 8 dreams, like the first one had a horse, the last one had a horse, and then there's Josiah. And then there's I don't know. They kind of correlate together, but I don't know how. But I heard that they do. And I think that I was reading too much. So that's what I think. Okay. So I have one more question. Oh, 2 more questions. The male given name Zechariah is derived from the Hebrew meaning A, the Lord has remembered, B, I forgot, or C, I don't know.
All of the above. No.
Yeah.
All of the above. So the male given name for Zechariah means the Lord has remembered. So that you have to remember that now. See, I wanted to go away from learning something here.
Well, I
That's
find
it.
Zechariah very difficult to read. I guess I don't I have a hard time understanding the parables and the speaking weird stuff, and I'm supposed to have to try to
Understand.
interpret it and figure out how it's connected to Jesus and my real life, and how it goes out through the whole Bible, I guess is. I don't know. I find Zechariah very difficult.
Good thing you have a pastor coming back next week.
He can explain everything.
He'll just
I
tell
know.
you all about it. But I really
He'd
want
be happy to do it too.
Yeah, right. I know. I really wanted to get through these because I wanted him to spend some more time on that, the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. But he'll probably watch this video and then correct everything we just talked about. So
Well, he'll certainly go over stuff, quickly and touch over
yeah,
things that we discussed. And did you
Right.
get that? I presume.
because I think I'm missing. There's so much there, and I think I'm missing some of maybe the main points. Because there was some very powerful quotes in the beginning, and chapter 1 through 6 or 7 or whatever. But I think we just kind of blew by them, and maybe Pastor can, talk about the ones that are important and because they obviously mean something. So, all right. So I'm gonna say a quick prayer and get you out of here. Father in heaven, thank you for forgiving us, for blessing us, and for loving us. Help us to forgive others, to bless others, and to love others. Be with Pastor Steve and Stephanie as they make their way home, and bless our week. Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you for leading us, John
Yep.
and Linda.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the video off, and then so now here we're just kind of offline if you want to talk.
Are we leaving the recording on or turning that off?
The recording is off right now. So
Oh, it shows like it's still recording.
it shows recording.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It says start video. Let's see here. Okay, let me stop recording.